Well, this summer, I almost said winter weather. This summer weather is starting to dry things out, and before too long, we are going to start to hear about some burn restrictions. We have Jeromy Hicks from the North Mason Regional Fire Authority in studio this morning.
Morning, Jeff.
How are you, sir?
Vicky.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good to see you, Jeromy.
I'm actually looking at the camping for this wine.
I know. We were just here talking about this Everglare coming to town. I'm excited about that.
It'll be a fun concert for sure. Jeromy, you're the county's fire marshal, right?
Yeah, I work at the fire marshal's office.
And
absolutely.
You are also make time out and about and talking with folks as we get ready for not only camping and campfires, but even just backyard, small barbecue fires for s'mores and hot dogs and things like this. We've had some terminology over the years that we've used, and as we were talking about it, it really kind of dawned on me, yeah, it is a little confusing when you say there is a burn ban in effect. However, there are okays on certain restrictions. So
Absolutely.
We're kind of changing the way we talk about this.
Yeah, so kind of July is that period where people come into town. They go, "Is there a burn ban on? What
Sure.
can I do? What I can't do?" We have a big population of people come into our town, and traditionally we've used the word burn ban and kind of talking to people in the community and say, "What does burn ban mean to you?" They go,
Right.
"Well, burn ban means you can't burn."
No
well,
burning.
nothing.
And what we do is, the fire districts and the Fire Chiefs Association and the Fire Marshal's Office, we all get together and say, there's a burn ban. You can't have land clearing burn. You can't have residential burn, but you can have a recreational fire.
It's very
So
confusing.
it is, and that's where we find. So we're kind of changing our conceptual thinking of how we talk about these. So this year, the first couple weeks of July, depending on the weather, will be burn restrictions. And what burn restrictions will say is no commercial land clearing burning will be allowed. And that's a permitted burn through the county. And then usually in that is residential burning. People get residential and recreational confused.
Sure.
So residential is you go outside and you prune all your trees, cut your grass, you have all these leaves, and you burn that to get rid of it.
Right.
And, usually if you have some acreage, that's not a big deal. If you're in a neighborhood, sometimes that can make your neighbors not so happy.
Yeah.
So, and then with the dry weather, that the potential for those materials getting loose and causing some other problems are there. So usually with the burn restrictions, we cut that back, that residential burning of yard debris and the land clearing burn. Then we have recreational burning. And recreational burning is basically a campfire pit, 3x3 in a designed fire pit. And that's another term we're using this year is design versus approved.
Okay.
Design, we'll put some literature out in our burning regulations, talk about what a designed fire pit is. Steel, concrete lined, rock lined, 25 feet from your house. And the key is you're burning dry, seasoned firewood here. If you think about when you cook s'mores, you don't take a bunch of wet wood, put it in a fireplace, and roast your hot dog over it.
No.
So this is dry, seasoned firewood, very small, controlled, basically for an ambiance type fire, s'mores, hot dog, stuff like that. That's a recreational fire. 25 feet from your structure, you have to have a source to put it out. A responsible adult there to take care of the fire. Those are fires that we try to allow throughout the summer, depending on how dry it gets. If it gets really dry like it did a couple of years ago, then we'll kind of go into that full burn ban, no burning.
Okay.
And that's what we'll use that terminology is burn ban means
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
Restrictions mean here's kind of what the rules are.
And if
then,
you don't know, then call the fire department and find out.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and we put out the Mason County Fire Marshal's website. You just Google that. It's the outdoor burning regulations are on there. Most fire department websites, fire district websites, have it on there too.
Oh, okay,
So you
that's
could
good.
get in there and you could talk. Now this there's some restrictions that happen in the urban growth areas. Urban growth areas are the Shelton area, the Belfair area, the Allen area, and Hoodsport area. You can't have land clearing burns or residential burning anyways. You're not allowed to burn in those areas. You could always have the recreational ones, but you can't burn yard debris in it. And that's the other thing that we find is people try to burn yard debris in there. You're talking about your little nice steel above ground thing, and they try to shove all their yard debris in that and light it. Go, oh, it's a campfire. No, it's not a campfire. That's so if you're trying to get rid of material, it's not a campfire.
Right.
So just think of it that way.
That's a good way to think about it.
So those areas you can't burn in year round anyways, and that's all outlined.
And those are more likely to like spark or throw sparks off, like if you're burning bushes or limbs or right?
Exactly, and leaves, stuff like that, versus seasoned firewood, which is designed to be burned that way.
Because that could start a big fire.
In seasoned firewood's not 2x4s. It's stuff. So we get that a lot, and I don't mean to make a joke out of it, because people really think that's okay, and you have to explain it. And most of the time, in our county, we run into people where this is their vacation home. So they come from an area like Seattle or King County or Snohomish County, where they have really strict burning regulations. And they come out here specifically to have campfires. But when they're out here in the summer, they're like, well, we should prune the trees and get all this stuff, and they start burning that. And we go out there and say, hey, you can't do that. And they're like, oh, gosh, sorry, I didn't really know what the restriction was. So 99% of the time, people are super compliant once we educate them. But we really want to get the message out that, please don't do that. Because if it does get out of control, then you're putting all your neighbors at danger, the forest at danger. DNR has some different burning regulations in their DNR protected areas. Any undeveloped land that is in DNR area, they have the ability to restrict or ban fires, period. And you'll see that occasionally, and the lands commissioner will put a full burn ban on. You'll hear about that throughout the state. And that basically means is if you're on undeveloped land that they cover, you can't have a fire at all.
Sure.
And we don't have that jurisdiction falls under them.
Sometimes when you kind of get into those areas, or you start taking Forest Service Road, whatever, you'll see a little placard that kind of gives you details on maybe when you can go through here or what's available. Do they have that information on those signs? Or? Typically,
at the entrance of those areas, they will have a sign. On the county's website, it will direct you to the DNR areas, so you can look at that. The Forest Service, some of the areas, what I guess would be kind of by Lake Cushman or even further up there in the National Forest, usually on their Forest Service roads, they'll have information on that. Again, we don't regulate that area, but we really try to work. We've met with DNR. We try to get this message out together, and that's where this terminology is coming from. That burn restriction kind of came up from a cooperative meeting with Department of Natural Resources. How can we get this message out a little bit better than saying burn ban? It was kind of funny. We read our burn ban from last year. I said, I can see where this would be confusing. If I wasn't in the fire service and I'm reading burn ban, no burning, except for this, it gets really confusing, and then neighbors interpret that differently, and citizens driving down the road interpret that differently. So we're really trying to get this point across in an educational message, and then also our burn regulations and DNR's burn regulations all say approve fire pits. Well, who approves the fire pit?
Who's the approver?
That's why we switched, at least in the county, and we're working with DNR to kind of go this way too. And they've been in the process of trying to figure that out too. And we're going to start calling it designed fire pit. So as long as you have the design criteria and it meets that design criteria, then that's a pit you could burn in.
Good to go.
People see they'll be able to see a picture of kind of like your above ground thing or a cement ring that somebody's. And that probably, if you don't have one of these burn areas in your yard or kind of community or whatever, if you see a picture, you go, oh, well, I could build that.
Yep.
That's perfect. Then I know I'm in compliance.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good idea.
The other thing too is this the second summer that you and Orca has kind of worked together a little closer on overall burn bans, where different portions of the different fire areas had different restrictions?
Yeah, so Orca is a little bit different. Orca regulates kind of the burning of what we would determine like illegal material, like tires, stuff that challenges the air quality. And we're working with them on a referral program now, because the fire districts will go out and say, hey, you can't burn roofing material. and there's not really a direction to go. Orca's come in and said, hey, we want to work with you on this. So the fire districts are now going to have like this referral process. And citizens have it now where, hey, my neighbor keeps burning trash in their backyard.
Yeah.
Here's the referral process. So this month we're working on that, and we've had meetings with Orca. This is kind of the first, I'd say, second year with DNR that we've worked really closely with them and trying to get our messages aligned. And then also educate the public on what developed land is and undeveloped land is, and where DNR covers, where we cover, where the city covers. And this message is all crafted, and it's going to start rolling out this year. And I hope by next year we kind of get the citizens and really the fire districts and the county and everybody understanding and speaking the same terminology, because that does get super confusing.
Sure.
And when we're putting out a message, and then DNR's putting out a message, and then the city's putting out a message, or my local fire district's putting out a message, and none of them align.
Yeah.
The citizens go, wait a minute here. So we're working with the fire chiefs, and the fire chiefs are on board, and I think it's going to be a really good thing.
One last question on recreational ambiance fires, as you were saying. What's the best way to have non-smoky? What do you do? Is it seasoned, super dry?
Super dry, seasoned firewood that, that burns hot. The hotter the wood burns, the less smoke it's going to produce.
Good to know. Thank you for asking that, Jeff.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Throw that out there. Very cool. Well, Jeromy, it's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Always good to see you.
We will check back in with you, I'm sure, before too long. Yep.